Well, it's done. Well, not really, but it's very close. Uh, but in actuality, it is ready to go to the racetrack. Just so happens that there's a big bracket bash at our local track next weekend, and I don't feel real confident on going rounds. I feel confident about being a first round duck, but we're going to go and have some fun. Been away from the track for a long time. Took a couple years off after selling the Mustang to finish this car, and we're ready to get back at it. For those of you that don't know, this is my 1968 Camaro. I bought it back in 2000. It's a really nice car. Well, I think it's a nice car anyway. I've been getting a lot of flack about from people about what I plan on doing with the car. Burnout competitions, drag racing, street racing, you name it. But it is what it is. You only live once. It's a car. It can be replaced, and you don't know these days if you're going to be here tomorrow or not, so enjoy it. Anyway, as I said, I bought the car back in 2000. The car has only ever been painted twice. The first time was in 1985, and at that time it had quarters put on it. Other than that, when I bought it, it was all original sheet metal on it. Original floors, trunk, frame. As I said, the only thing changed was the quarter panels. I painted it for its second time in its life in 2001, a year after I got it. And I didn't have to do any body work. The only thing I did was I took the original flat hood off and put a cowl induction hood on it. So at that time, the only non-original sheet metal to the car was the quarters and the hood. Last winter, I went through and that's still the original paint on it now from 2001. So that's 20-year-old paint, and it still shows really nice. Last winter, it sat since 2007 when I was racing the Mustang. So I decided I was going to detail the bottom of the car, so I got a brand new gas tank on it, all detailed underneath. There was one hole that in the passenger's front floor pan, in front of the front seat, that needed repair. So that was didn't need a full pan. As you all know, you have a little hole, and when you get digging at it, you got a bigger hole. So there's a patch panel in the front passenger floor, and the trunk area needed a little bit of TLC. 80% of the trunk floor is still original, and the rest is a factory piece cut out of a factory patch panel. Other than that, it's all original. Doors, fenders, trunk, everything. The interior is all original, other than the headliner. The interior it's not bad for well, actually it's pretty good for the year. I had to replace the headliner when I painted the car because it was sagging and stuff, but the door panels and the seat covers, everything's all original. I'll show you the gauges. The gauges aren't original. I know it's hard to see in there with the light, but I got a odometer instrument cluster in it with all gauges. Odometer monster tack with the shift light, or low oil pressure warning light. It got a B&M Pro Stick pistol grip, line lock on the pistol grip. The radio works. The car was just completely rewired. I got some help with a friend of mine who does electrical, because I absolutely hate it. He helped me rewire the car. I got a brand new painless harness in it. It's their classic update. It was a little bit more than plug and play, that's why I needed some help. And anyway, for those of you that don't know, I'll open up the hood here and show you that. Just hold on a second. What we got for a drivetrain is it's the motor that I ran in the Mustang. This motor has gone 1002 in the form it is right now at 137 miles an hour. It's just freshened up. It's detuned a little bit from before. It's down from 13 to 1 down to 10.8. I put flat tops in it. It had domes. So I put flat tops in to lower the compression for pump gas. It made pretty decent power. It made, on the engine dyno at Armstrong's, it made 538.9, so I basically call it 540 horsepower on pump gas with conservative timing. The block is a late 70s 010 GM block. It got Dart 220 heads on it, a Dart strip dominator intake. Right now I have a 750 Holly on it. Aluminum radiator, electric fan. I incorporated the original fan shroud to work with the electric fan. I got a Proform electric water pump. Of course, MSD billet distributor. The ignition is a MSD 6AL2 with the built-in two-step. I have a couple of the older 6ALs with the external two-step module that you have to plug in and use chips or dials. I just went with the MSD 6AL2 because no extra chips or modules are required. You just use a screwdriver. There's a couple plugs in the top of the box that you pull out and adjust your RPM with the screwdriver. It has a CRV electric vacuum pump on it because the camshaft, well, doesn't make enough vacuum to do anything. So I have the vacuum pump for the vacuum assist brakes. I'm gonna attempt to run the transmission modulator valve off the intake vacuum. We'll see how that works. The camshaft, it's not real radical, but it's a pretty good piece. It's a comp solid roller. 630 lift. Duration, it got a lot of duration. That's where it makes a lot of its power. It's 284 at 50 thou and 320 advertised. And it's installed at 105. And it idles right around 13 to 1500. The transmission is a Dick Langell built Turbo 350. There's no trans brake in it, but it has all B&M internals. The torque converter is a ATI 8-inch Treemaster 5500 style. It was built for this motor when it was in the Mustang, so we're going to give it a shot. We'll see how it'll work. The only difference is this car is a lot heavier. Hopefully it won't make that much of a difference. The drive shaft is one that was built at A&J Automotive, Armstrong's, that is, otherwise known as. It's a mild steel, 1350 ends on it. It was built and balanced there. The rear end is a 8.5 out of a Nova. It's a direct swap into a first generation. It has Yukon axles, C-clip eliminators, Yukon posi, The rear cover is a cast aluminum. It has the girdle and everything. It's reinforced and it has the girdle and everything in it. Um, the gear set in it right now is a 373. The reason I went with that is because of the fault of the car right now, which is the suspension. It has completely stock front A-arms, coil springs, shocks, same as the back. It has a stock five leaf pack, 20-year-old slapper bars, and stock shocks. There's a brand new set of 456 gears there, but I just know that the suspension as it is right now just isn't going to handle it. When the suspension is fully done and the car is ready to go 100%, it's a 1080 to 1110 car. That's what it'll run in the quarter. As it sits right now with the 373 gears and suspension, anything in the 11s right now, I'll be happy with. The 373s, I'm hoping, are going to band-aid it enough that I can calm it down in 60 feet and make the suspension work. If not, we'll just be first-round ducks. It is what it is. We'll be out having fun. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you... I know I've been really, really bad with updates on the car, and I have a lot of people asking, but life happens, right? I know the people like Travis and Herb and a couple others on here that are on my Facebook, they see a lot more of the racing videos and about the car and stuff, but the YouTube thing just, it just slips your mind when you're doing stuff. You get in the groove, and anyway, I'm sure I always have a camera at the racetrack. I put a video camera on a tripod on the starting line and pretty much film the whole thing. And for the Facebook people, and post some videos on there. I may put some on here, or just some clips of my buddy's cars. Anyway, we'll take you to the track with next weekend, and we'll talk to y'all later. See ya.